Number 8, with the name Callie, was last seen in Season 2 of the show, and in a time where we didn't know of anybody else with abilities other than 11, it showed us that there were other numbers out there, with the number 8 not being present in Season 4 Volume 2, where we were witnessing 11 inside of Project Nina looking back into 1979. It begs the question of where was she? And also, is there a chance that she'll be coming back to the show? Well, with this, I thought I'd take a look, theorize, and give my predictions on if she'll be appearing in Season 5, the final season of the show. So let's get into it. Here is why Callie will return in Stranger Things Season 5. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. Season 4 Volume 2 felt like the perfect time to bring back Callie into the world of Stranger Things, especially when it felt like everything was at stake, or even as a reference in the flashbacks to the massacre that occurred. However, I feel as though it now makes sense as to why they didn't. Because in Season 4 Volume 2, Vecna hadn't been defeated, his plan actually came to fruition and the ante has been upped even more, now requiring further assistance in Season 5 of the show. Callie was introduced to us in Season 2 of Stranger Things, and she's not been on our screens ever since. We picked up with her at a point in time when she was around 20 years old, and was considered a criminal. We saw that Eleven's mother Terry wanted her to find Callie, and we saw her successfully locate her after entering the void and seeking her out. In the short time that they spent together in Season 2, we saw how they treated each other like sisters, due to the fact that they'd both been through the same facility and had similar experiences. This was where we saw that Callie was number 8. In the present day, she was hanging around with a group of people that wanted to seek revenge on those who had done them wrong in the past, and this was something that we saw 11 get involved with at the time. We saw that Callie had the power to be able to manipulate people's minds into seeing things in their world that weren't actually there, a power similar to what Vecna holds. Whilst she wasn't necessarily able to tap into the fear that one had, she was able to make things appear that would frighten the individual and bring them up as illusions and also morph the world around them. In Season 4 Volume 2, throughout the flashback scenes that we saw occurring whilst 11 was inside of Project Nina, we never saw a number 8 present, which highlighted to us that she had escaped the facility prior to the massacre taking place, 11 opening a gateway to the Upside Down, and Vecna as we know him being born. I think there are a couple of different occasions in which we could see Callie return to Hawkins in Season 5 of the show. One reason could be that at the end of Season 4 Volume 2, we saw that there was a news broadcast that was put out there about an extremely large earthquake that took place in Hawkins. There were multiple film crews there which would insinuate multiple news networks being present there, which led me to believe that it could well have made the national news, meaning that it would be able to reach Callie in Chicago, or wherever she may be if she's moved on to a new area in the meantime. Due to knowing that the facility that she was tested on and escaped from was in Hawkins, and knowing of the type of people that were being held there, meaning those that had special abilities, she may well be intrigued to see if all is what it seems, and if it was just an earthquake. This may lead her to head back to Hawkins to see what was going on. This could then be where she would run into 11, hear about all that had happened, and then get recruited by her and the gang to utilize her powers alongside them in the aim of taking down Vecna. Another theory could be that 11 could realize that they need help in the battle that's going to be taking place, and with the knowledge that there is one other like her out there, she could potentially relocate Callie again just like she did by entering the void back in Season 2. The fact that there is another individual that holds abilities means that it could give them an extra advantage in the fight that's going to occur with Vecna, especially considering it's on a larger scale and is in the real world now. This would see the group go and find number 8, inform her of all of the events which had unfolded since they last met, which would include Brenner being dead, which she would most likely be pleased about, due to the fact that she despised him for testing on her, and also the revelation that Peter Ballard, who she would have been familiar with in the facility, was in fact number 1, and went on to slaughter everybody else that was in there and was banished to the Upside Down, and is now a being called Vecna. It would be an interesting moment if that were to occur, as I'd love to see her reaction and see what she made of it all. Number 8's powers would be something that would most definitely come in handy in the fight that they're going to be taking to Vecna. The ability to fabricate the very world around an individual and make them see things that don't exist, and to also put up a surrounding that an individual believes is there, could be extremely powerful. She also holds the ability to render herself and others as invisible and undetectable. With this arsenal of powers and abilities, it could make Vecna question what would be real and what would not be. This could give them the upper hand that they could most certainly do with, alongside the knowledge that they all hold individually, and also 11 holding powers too. With the level of danger having been upped, and the real world and the Upside Down now being merged into one, it would be the perfect time for Callie to be reintroduced into the show, when she would definitely be needed and make a real difference in the final battle. It would also be something that Vecna wouldn't expect. He struggled against 11, so if there were 2 of them, who's to say it wouldn't be enough to defeat him? However, with the episode titled The Lost Sister back in Season 2 getting poorly reviewed, and us not only not seeing Callie, but not even hearing a reference of 11's time with Callie since the episode was released, it doesn't bode well for a reappearance. Considering that 11 and Callie viewed each other as sisters, and they grew an instant connection, and there also being a real reason at the time for 11 finding her, the absence of a reference, and the lack of a thought of finding her when they were in the battle with Vecna, is something that makes me think that she may well have been pushed out of the show, and they want to steer clear of the character that us as the fans are yearning to see incorporated once again. The time for number 8 to return is now, when Season 5 does air. It's the final season, everything's going to be at stake, and the group could most certainly do with the assistance from somebody who holds powers. And although not necessarily being able to match what both Vecna and 11 have, she'll be able to bring something different to the table, and hopefully aid in the defeat of Vecna and the removal of the Upside Down from reality. We'll have to hold out and wait and see if Callie does get introduced into Season 5 of the show. There's plenty of reasons and ways for Callie to be reintroduced, but we'll just have to see if it does occur. So, there you have it, a reason as to why Callie could return in Stranger Things Season 5. If you want to see more videos on Stranger Things such as endings explained, theories and predictions, or character breakdowns, then click on the I button, or alternatively you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review next, then head over to my Twitter, @brainpilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. Do you think Callie will appear in Season 5 of the show? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.